is it. Welcome back, YouTube. So today we are going to add sequential turn lights to our mirrors that are going to replace these right here on the Lexus RC350 first gen. I think they're compatible with the ES Gen 2s for their Lexuses. So I ended up getting the tint version sequential with the shark tooth lights. And what we need for this is multimeter tester, a wire stripper, solder with wires, pry bar, and then a screwdriver. Now, I got these off of the Pit Shop. It's the pit.shop. You're going to find the link below. So what we're going to do today is take off the mirror, take off the cover, replace it. Then we're going to open the door panel, run the wires to the door panel, and put the lights to a live wire in the door panel to get the sequential going. Now, if you've seen the IS video that I put up last week, it is pretty much the same thing, different type of lights. So that one was for the IS 350 4th gen, but you know, most people say 3rd gen facelift. It's the 2021 to 2024 version that we did on Mike's car. So let's go ahead and get this started. Did I break it? Nope, I didn't break it. Woo! Alright, so
That one looks way simpler than Mike's, doesn't it?
yeah.
Because Mike's have a ton of shit of wires.
It's about the same amount of wires.
Yeah?
Yeah. Alright, so I'm gonna pop off these wires now that we took off the mirror. So that way we don't have a hanging mirror while we do this. Black on bottom. Mirrors off. Now I'm going to take a guess and say all 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of these screws have to come out. So that way we can get right here. So what we're going to do is take the light out of here, mount the new one in, and test it out. And easy as that. Came out, no issues, no problems, no force. And side by side comparison, you can see that they line up pretty evenly. Fit pretty evenly, so let's try and put this one back in. And actually, let's test it first. So good sequentially. I believe this wire is the one that has to be ran to the inner door panel for the running lights. And I believe this one is the programmable one. What we ended up doing on IS is cutting this and using this as an extension to basically run this wire into the inner door panel. But since it's on right now, and it's working, so far so good. Now these are supposed to glow blue for the daytime running lights, but we'll see when we get to that point. Okay, so if you don't want the daytime running lights, you could end your video here. But if you want to have the daytime running lights work while you drive, mine are going to be in a tinted blue hue. Stay watching. All right, to remove the door panel, there's this screw underneath the cover. There's this screw inside the door handle underneath the carpet covering down there. And then there is also this screw in the door. Once you remove all three, you're able to pop out the door, lift it up, and pull it out. One screw. Alright, all three screws are off. Now to pop the door open. If you want to feel safer, you could grab a pry bar to just get under the door panel. If you want to be the Incredible Hulk, just put your fingers under it and rip it off. Choice is yours. Oh, I was wrong. There are two more screws that you need to remove. So once you remove the panel switch, you're gonna need to take out this screw and this screw for the door to come off. And then the door will come off peacefully. Now you're going to want to disconnect the door cable, the lock cable, as well as your light switch that's in the front. All right, now we have the door exposed. What we're gonna do from here, similar to the IS, go in here, remove the bolts for the mirror holder, run the cable through and test it. So when you need to remove the mirror cap, you gotta take off this weatherproof sealing and then remove these three screws in here to give yourself some room. And then what you're gonna do is you're gonna tape the wires from the new light, push them down through here. They'll come out on the other side, which will come out on the back side in here, which then you could run through here and then connect it to one of these power lines right here. The bolts to holding the mirror are 10mm, so you're gonna get a 10mm, preferably with an extension. And I just dropped mine down in the door. Same mistake I made last video. And if you need to get to that, all you have to do is just take off the speaker down here. And get to it. Right, now that we got the screws off, all we have to do is just take off the door panel, not the door panel, the mirror cover. So when you're pulling it out, there's a little tab that you have to press down from inside to get it out. But once you get it out, it should be easy. So with this part, what you're going to want to do is remove the weather coating that's right here. That way you could fish the line through. So what you're going to do is tape off the tip of your wire like I did. Feed the wire through the top right here, all the way through, and then pull it out at the bottom down here. All right, so I fished the wire through at the bottom. Now I have to fish it through the weather seal right here. And then I'm gonna run it through the interior of the doorknob. So Not the doorknob, the door panel. Make sure you grab the wires. Fish it all the way through. Once you fished it through the weather strip, put the weather strip back on. Sure it's nice and so you're gonna fish it through the door panel, and there's this rail right here. I don't know if you guys can see that. This rail right here, you want to fish the line. You can see the red line right here behind it to follow the path of this gray wire. Doing so, you'll clear out the track for the windows, because last thing you want to do is do all this and then roll up your window and have that cable cut. So run it through here. Alright, now that you fish it through, you can put the nuts back on that you took off for the door panel. And tight. Seal it back up. Alright, so now we're going to pull the wire that we have through the window, pull it through this little guard right here. As far as cables go, the black ground is going to go into this black ground right here. It's going to be the ground for your flood and running lights. And then what you're going to do is also combo the pink and the red in this situation into this first green one. Luckily we don't have to splice it because there is some wiggle room for the connectors. I'm just gonna shove those down in there. I'm gonna do is, oh, you guys can't even see. Sorry. What I'm gonna do is tape these off. So that way it looks nice and clean. And then pull whatever slack I have back through the door panel. So this side you don't have to solder. The driver's side you definitely do. And I apologize for the train that is nearby in the background. And I'll try to make the rest of this wiring as neat as possible. This is always the hard part about this light. If you want the animation and floodlights to work, there's a little extra you gotta do. So, alright, now we're gonna feed this back in through here. Alright, so we got the door back on. Now we're gonna go put back on the window cover, the mirror cover, and be done with the driver's side. And be done with the passenger side. That's it. That's the video, guys. Thank you for watching, and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. See you next video.